Hi, my name is Brian Johnson. I'm one of the pastors at Williamsburg United Methodist Church, and this is our weekly midweek video. This week, I want to talk about the Bible study that we're doing right now and this holiday we just celebrated on Sunday. This last Sunday, we just celebrated All Saints Sunday. All Saints Sunday is a day when we remember the saints, the people of faith, the people who belong to God, the people who have followed Jesus across the years. And as we did that, we remember the example, the witness that they give to us in faith. Well, this week in the Bible study that we're doing, the pastor's Bible study, we're reading the book of Hebrews, and in particular, we're reading the 11th chapter of Hebrews. The 11th chapter of Hebrews is often called the faith chapter. It lists heroes of faith who have come before, those who have walked before us, much like the saints. It lists all sorts of heroes from the Old Testament who have lived the life of faith. And one of the interesting things about this section of Hebrews is how it portrays faith, what it means in this chapter of Hebrews from the perspective of the book of Hebrews to have faith. Faith, in the book of Hebrews, faith acts with a view towards the future. Christian faith is about living in such a way that our lives align with the future that God is building. Faith in the book of Hebrews also is a life lived in confidence of the resurrection. So what does this mean for us? What does this mean, and how does it impact the way we think about the saints? Well, think of it this way. Christian living is living as if what we say about Jesus is really true. What if who we say Jesus is actually real? What if Jesus, the peasant carpenter, the one who struggled, who suffered, who ate with sinners and the rejected, what if he really is God? What might it mean to live as if Jesus really is Lord? Jesus really is raised from the dead. That, we believe, is the witness that the saints point us to. That, we believe, is the witness that we are called to share with others. What would it mean for you, for me, for us, to shape our lives around the belief that actually Jesus really meant what he said? Actually, Jesus really is calling us to lives of mercy and love and care for the outcast. Actually, we will one day be raised. And so we can be bold right now. The book of Hebrews, chapter 11, there are all these folks who struggled. Some of them had lives that were triumphant, and some of them had lives where they walked faithfully and it hurt. But they were able to walk in confidence, trusting that God was at work, that God was holding them, that God would care for them. What does it mean for us to live each day as if the love of Jesus really is the guiding principle for our lives? I wonder for you, how might you be called to live more boldly because you trust that Jesus is working for your good and has promised to hold you until and through the end? I wonder what it might look like if all of God's people, all of us folks who claim to follow Jesus, really live that way. So the challenge to you is to hold on to that hope. The book of Hebrews challenges us. Look at these folks who have come before and walked faithfully. May we join in that journey. All Saints' Day is an invitation to remember those who have come before, and it's also a challenge to say, may we join our names to their names as people who have lived and loved and followed the way of Jesus. So may you, this day, this week, live as if what we say we believe is really true. May you be willing to be bold and take risks because you trust that the resurrection really is the end of our story. It's the next step. It's the thing that is promised to us. So we can be bold to act, to live, to love in the way of Jesus right now because we know how the story ends. And so we can live today as if that ending has already been written because in the grace of Jesus Christ it has. Peace. Be well.